Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. General Hospital spoilers for the next 2 weeks, June 23rd to July 4th, reveal that Portia Robinson will have a reason to be jealous as Curtis Ashford and Jordan Ashford enjoy a cozy memory-filled moment by the pool. While Portia has an outburst during the week of June 23rd to 27th, Trina Robinson will be busy worrying about Kai Taylor. Since Kai will admit he's taking Drew Kane up on his internship offer after all, that'll set off alarm bells for Trina. Nevertheless, Curtis will do his best to convince Trina that it's all going to work out. If everything goes according to Curtis' plan, then Jacinda may become a key player in Drew's downfall. Drew's manipulation will give Nina Reeves another reason to worry about Willow Tate, now that she's agreed to marry him. Nina will push Willow to hold off on trying the knot, but Willow may be determined to get hitched before the visitation hearing like Drew and Martin Gray suggested. Spoilers say Nina will ultimately strike up an alliance with someone unexpected, so we'll see if their partnership will help. In the meantime, some inside info will fall into Drew's lap. It sounds like Drew will find out something big. So could he get any clues about the judge bribery? Drew might end up thinking Michael Corinthos or someone close to him paid for the custody victory, but fans know it was actually Jen Sidwell who pulled that off. Back with Willow, she'll have some updates for Michael at the Quartermaine mansion. If Michael finds out about the imminent Quickie wedding, he may push Willow to see that she's just letting Drew manipulate her again. As for Brooklyn Quartermaine, she'll witness something that leaves her furious. It's easy to imagine Brooklyn spotting Lulu Spencer in a warm embrace with Giovanni Giopalmieri and flipping out. Marco Rios will come up with more Britt Westbourne info for Brooklyn as she continues plotting Lulu's takedown. Other spoilers say Alexis Davis will have a tense conversation with Elizabeth Baldwin. Liz told Christina Corinthos Davis that she was willing to keep her role in the crash a secret, but Alexis may seek reassurance. Will Alexis let any hints drop about Rick Lansing and Ava Jerome's blackmail in the midst of this confrontation? When it's time for Daisy's christening, Jason Morgan and Carly Spencer will reflect on some special memories, presumably of when Michael was Daisy's age. Unfortunately, this blissful occasion could turn into a total nightmare. General Hospital spoilers say some sort of sunny horror show is about to go down, so he may get arrested or face another attempt to wipe him out. During the week of June 30th to July 4th, fans will see the aftermath of that sunny shocker. The Corinthos clan may be thrown into turmoil, so stay tuned for news on the family crisis ahead. On a lighter note, Emma Scorpio Drake may finally find the owner of the dog she found in the park. Although Emma planned to keep the pup and name it Outback if nobody claimed it, there's a good chance Vaughn will ultimately step forward. This whole dog situation seems like a typical spy game to connect with Emma and earn her trust. It may be Vaughn's ticket to joining the animal rights group and sabotaging Emma's Professor Henry Hank Dalton plans. As for Drew and Willow, their wedding day may arrive. Will Willow and Drew's ceremony actually be completed, or could there be a surprise interruption? It's possible Nina or someone else could expose the truth about her past passionate encounters with Drew. There might even be some other way to derail the nuptials, so we'll see how things play out. General Hospital spoilers say the next 2 weeks will bring some important story developments, so don't miss what's coming up. General Hospital spoilers indicate there's been a lot of talk about Nellie Benson lately. In fact, many have compared Willow Tate's recent actions to her twin sisters. With someone out there seemingly stalking Daisy Corinthos, could the perpetrator be none other than Nellie? An odd situation. General Hospital spoilers remind fans that everyone's eyebrow was raised when Sasha Corbin was in her hospital bed during the Wednesday, June 18th episode, waiting to see Daisy, and someone brought the wrong baby from the nursery. The error was quickly rectified, but it's hard not to think that a bigger story is coming. Want more General Hospital news? Get updates on the latest General Hospital news straight to your inbox. Website your email. Subscribe. We use your personal data for interest-based advertising, as outlined in our privacy notice. Especially since that day, as Sasha and Daisy were sharing a sweet moment with Michael Corinthos, Wiley Corinthos, and Amelia Corinthos, an unknown figure was shown watching them. Everyone will think it was Willow Tate as this stalker storyline progresses, with the potential to become a kidnapping storyline. It's not hard to think that everyone will assume Willow is behind this. After all, Willow has had a mental health breakdown due to losing her kids, and it's not hard to connect how she'd become obsessed with Daisy, considering the situation. Will people believe she's blacked out during these episodes? Possibly. Willow had a meltdown after she found out she lost custody of Wiley and Amelia, so if she has pockets of memory she can't remember, then many will jump to this conclusion. With that said, most fans know that in a mystery like this one, the most obvious person is never the culprit. So while everyone, including some GH viewers, may believe that Willow is Daisy's stalker, could it be Nellie? It would make sense as to why she may be obsessed with the baby. She never had her own time with Wiley while he was that age. Daisy is Michael's daughter, and she may like the idea of framing her sister, someone she's never gotten along with. Is Nellie returning? Join the conversation below. Watch your favorite soap on ABC Daily, and check out this site regularly for the hottest General Hospital news and spoilers. General Hospital spoilers relay Isaiah Gannon faces a crushing blow-up ahead, with Jordan Ashford poised to abandon their budding, but tabled romance. Isaiah has been patiently waiting, hoping Jordan's undercover mission to dismantle Jen Sidwell wraps soon so they can resume dating. But signs point to Curtis Ashford's marriage to Portia Robinson imploding under Drew Quartermain's blackmail and Portia's inclination to hide the truth from her hubs. Want more General Hospital news? Get updates on the latest General Hospital news straight to your inbox. Website your email. Subscribe. We use your personal data for interest-based advertising, as outlined in our privacy notice. If Curtis and Portia split, the undeniable spark between Curtis and ex-wife Jordan could reignite, leaving Isaiah, who's been holding out unprompted, devastated. Will Isaiah's broken heart lead him to seek solace with Elizabeth Baldwin, who is equally lonely after Lucky Spencer's departure? And could their shared pain spark something more? General Hospital spoilers. Isaiah's hopes dashed by Jordan's pull to Curtis. Isaiah's patience has kept his hopes alive for a future with Jordan, marked by stolen glances at the Metro Court and just about everywhere else as they continue to pretend they have nothing to do with one another. But Curtis' strained marriage, evident intense home exchanges, and his growing closeness to Jordan threaten to pull her back to her ex. If Jordan chooses Curtis as hinted by their lingering chemistry, she'll leave Isaiah reeling, despite never having asked him to wait. If this is the way it plays out, will he accept her choice or fight for their spark? GH spoilers say Elizabeth as Isaiah's kindred spirit. Elizabeth, nursing her own wounds after rejecting Lucky's recent proposal and watching him board a plane and exit her life, finds herself adrift, covering extra shifts to avoid the quiet that waits for her at home. Isaiah, feeling a duty to look out for her in Lucky's absence, might reach out, maybe with a coffee chat in the hospital break room, drawn by their shared loneliness. Their mutual heartbreak, coupled with Isaiah's protective nature and Elizabeth's vulnerability, could kindle a bond, possibly tipping into romance. If a late-night talk turns tender, will they find solace in each other, or keep it platonic to avoid more pain? General Hospital spoilers. A new bond or just comfort? Isaiah's heartbreak and Elizabeth's isolation could forge a connection, but Jordan's lingering presence and Curtis' potential reconciliation might complicate things. If Isaiah's love interest is still around in plain sight, it might not be as easy for him to move on with a new romance as it could be for Elizabeth with Lucky halfway across the world. Is Isaiah the next best thing she has to the adventure-seeking love of her life who has just left it? Will Isaiah's broken heart lead him to Elizabeth for lasting love? Or will their commisery merely offer fleeting company as Jordan and Curtis reclaim their past? Can Elizabeth handle being someone's second choice once again? Stay tuned for more GH news and spoilers to find out. After Drew asked Jason to discuss custody with Michael, Jason refused. Carly went on a date with Brennan. Lulu refused to apologize to Brooke Lynn, who ended up slapping her. Later, Brooke Lynn asked Marco to dig up information on the late Brit. At the PCPD, Anna threw Chase and Dante in a cell to get them to end their fighting. Jocelyn stole information off Dalton's phone. Then later when she spoke with Vaughn in Dalton's office, Emma walked in so Vaughn kissed Joss to not blow their cover. At the hospital, Sasha became erratic when they brought her the wrong baby. Eventually Lucas brought Daisy in, but realized a mistake like that never should have happened. Curtis offered Aurora back to Michael, but Michael turned him down. Lulu arrived at the pool and apologized to Gio, but he wasn't very receptive. Rocco asked Brooke Lynn to try talking to Gio. Episode 15735 air date, Wednesday, June 18, 2025 Elizabeth called Christina over to let her know she knows what she did. When Drew proposed to Willow, she contemplated whether it was the right decision or not. Sasha told Michael she still wants to raise Daisy on her own. Later, a mystery person peered into the window of the Quartermaines at Daisy, Michael, and his family. Trina and Kai learned that the surgery wasn't successful enough for him to ever play football again. Cody continued his attempts to seduce Ava and Molly spotted him. Episode 15736 air date. Thursday, June 19, 2025 Sonny met with Sidwell, who did not back down on wanting his properties. Later, it was revealed that Sidwell paid the judge to give Michael full custody. Lucas and Marco discussed their journeys coming out to their parents. Jordan confided in Anna after Curtis told her about his uncertain relationship with Portia. Drew offered Kai an internship working for him in D.C. Trina confided in Joss about what happened with Kai. Join the Soap Hub community and make your opinion matter. Comment episode 15737 air date. Friday, June 20, 2025 Emma and Gio ran into a dog at the park, whom Emma is considering keeping. Sonny arrived to represent Corinthos Coffee at the softball game, while Anna and D.A. Turner are playing for the PCPD, and Sonny convinced Gio to play for his team. Nina confided in Ava about the situation with Willow. Michael took Wiley for his swim lesson and when Wiley left his t-shirt at the pool, Willow wound up finding it and spiraled, deciding she needed to marry Drew. Curtis, Michael, and Martin suggested to Tracy that hold a press conference apologizing to Drew and giving him back the Quartermaine name in order to get him to drop the charges against her. Kai decided to turn down Drew's offer, but Drew told him he could work from Port Charles. Week ahead coming up in Port Charles, Tracy will commit to the plan, while Kai tells Trina that he's changing his. Next week's breakdown episode 15738 air date. Monday, June 23, 2025 Tracy makes a public display. Jordan and Curtis take a trip down memory lane. Portia is rattled. Kai shares his plans with Trina. Nina is taken aback. Episode 15739 air date. Tuesday, June 24, 2025 Nina seeks help from an unlikely source. Carly pleads with Michael. Drew gets some inside information. Portia lashes out. Curtis reassures Trina. Episode 15740 air date. Wednesday, June 25, 2025 Dante and Brooke Lynn discuss Gio. Alexis seeks out Elizabeth. Martin gets bad news. Marco makes a delivery. Cody follows orders. Episode 15741 air date. Thursday, June 26, 2025 A conversation with Sonny leaves Carly concerned. Jason gives Dante a new perspective. Lulu has advice for Lucas. Brooke Lynn doesn't like what she sees. Marco makes a discovery. Episode 15742 air date. Friday, June 27, 2025 Sonny is in for a shock. Jason and Carly walk down memory lane. Daisy's loved ones gather for her christening. Anna faces some tough questions. Chase and Brooke Lynn make a realization. General Hospital spoilers. Jordan breaks Isaiah's heart. But will Elizabeth be the one to help him heal? The emotional atmosphere in Port Charles is about to heat up as Jordan Ashford and Isaiah Gannon face a dramatic turning point in their budding relationship. What began as mutual flirtation has been steadily evolving into something more serious, at least for Isaiah. Unfortunately, General Hospital spoilers suggest that Jordan may be ready to put the brakes on their connection, delivering a painful blow that leaves Isaiah both stunned and heartbroken. But in a town where nothing stays secret for long and comfort often comes from the most unexpected places, Isaiah might not stay emotionally stranded for long. Enter Elizabeth Baldwin, someone who understands heartbreak better than most. Could Elizabeth become a surprising emotional support system for Isaiah in the wake of Jordan's rejection? Jordan's emotional conflict, why she backs away. Jordan has always been fiercely independent and guarded when it comes to her personal life. While she and Isaiah have shared fun moments and meaningful conversations, Jordan's reluctance to fully open her heart stems from years of heartbreak, trust issues, and an intense focus on her career. While part of her may genuinely enjoy Isaiah's attention, another part is afraid of what that intimacy might lead to. Spoilers tease that Jordan will soon reach a point where she has to be honest, not just with Isaiah but with herself. Whether she admits she's not ready for a relationship, or she fears getting hurt again, the message will be clear. she can't give Isaiah what he wants. And while she may try to soften the blow, Isaiah could still walk away feeling deeply rejected. Isaiah's reaction from hopeful to crushed. Isaiah's character has shown great patience and optimism in his pursuit of Jordan. Unlike others who may have walked away when faced with her emotional walls, Isaiah continued showing up, listening, understanding, and waiting for the moment Jordan would finally let him in. But that moment may never come, and when Jordan finally shuts the door, Isaiah could be left feeling like everything he invested was for nothing. This emotional letdown might hit Isaiah harder than expected. He didn't just want romance. He saw potential for something real, something lasting. Now all of that feels like it's slipping through his fingers, and it might send him searching for clarity and comfort somewhere else. Elizabeth Baldwin, an unexpected source of support. Meanwhile, Elizabeth Baldwin has had her own rough patches when it comes to love. She's experienced devastating losses, betrayals, and disappointments. Yet, through it all, she remains one of Port Charles's most empathetic characters, always willing to lend a hand, especially to someone in pain. As fate would have it, Elizabeth may cross paths with Isaiah at just the right time. Whether it's a casual conversation at GH, or a deeper moment of emotional vulnerability, sparks of compassion could ignite a surprising new connection. Elizabeth could be the listening ear Isaiah needs, offering him empathy and a fresh perspective he didn't know he needed. Could this lead to something more? What begins as a comforting conversation could evolve into something deeper. General Hospital fans know that emotional bonding often leads to romantic entanglements. Isaiah, fresh off heartbreak, may not be ready for another relationship just yet, but that doesn't mean he won't begin to see Elizabeth in a new light. Elizabeth, too, may be caught off guard by how much she enjoys Isaiah's company. She may start to feel appreciated in a way she hasn't in a long time, and that might stir something unexpected in her heart. Of course, both would need to tread carefully. The last thing either of them needs is to get tangled in rebound emotions or unprocessed feelings. But sometimes, shared vulnerability creates the strongest foundation for genuine connection. Will Jordan regret letting Isaiah go? If Jordan witnesses Isaiah finding comfort in Elizabeth's presence, or worse, sees sparks flying between them, she might start questioning her decision. While she may have believed she was protecting herself or Isaiah, by walking away, seeing him move on could stir up feelings she thought she buried. Would Jordan try to win him back? Or would she let him go and silently mourn what could have been? This triangle has all the ingredients for emotional fireworks: conflicted loyalties, unspoken desires, and lingering regrets. Port Charles is no stranger to romantic shake-ups. In a town filled with complicated histories and shifting alliances, it wouldn't be surprising if Jordan, Isaiah, and Elizabeth found themselves in the middle of a messy romantic triangle. Fans could see moments of jealousy, awkward confrontations, and maybe even romantic rivalry as feelings intensify. Whether Jordan reconsiders or Isaiah and Elizabeth build something new from the ashes, this storyline promises emotional depth and plenty of drama. Final thoughts. A new love triangle or closure for all. Jordan's decision may have seemed final, but in Port Charles, nothing ever truly is. As Isaiah begins to lean on Elizabeth, he could find healing and perhaps a new beginning. Whether it's romance or a powerful friendship, this connection could change the course of all three characters' lives. General Hospital spoilers suggest that in the coming weeks, we'll see emotional confrontations, rekindled feelings, and new connections that challenge what each of these characters thought they wanted. Stay tuned as the drama unfolds, because in Port Charles, love is never simple, and hearts are always on the line. Lingering tensions and mixed emotions. While Isaiah may try to keep a brave face, deep inside, the sting of Jordan's rejection will linger. He may question what he did wrong, or if he ever stood a real chance with her at all. This emotional disorientation might push him into a period of reflection, one where he struggles between moving on and holding out hope that Jordan will come around. Elizabeth, being a nurturer by nature, could sense this inner battle. She may encourage Isaiah to open up and share his truth, not just about what happened with Jordan, but about his hopes, insecurities, and deeper desires. This safe space might allow Isaiah to feel seen in a way he didn't even experience with Jordan. Elizabeth herself might find Isaiah's honesty and vulnerability refreshing. She spent years navigating relationships filled with secrets and emotional distance. A connection based on mutual openness could feel like a rare gift, and it might awaken emotions she hadn't planned for. Jordan's own struggles behind the scenes. Meanwhile, Jordan's tough exterior might start to crack. Though she believed pushing Isaiah away was the right decision, she might begin to second-guess herself, especially if she witnesses how well he's connecting with Elizabeth. A moment of realization could strike her. In her attempt to protect herself from vulnerability, she may have pushed away someone who truly cared about her without judgment. Jordan isn't one to admit weakness easily, but feelings of regret and jealousy might rise to the surface when she sees the chemistry brewing between Isaiah and Elizabeth. This emotional storm might prompt Jordan to confide in someone close, perhaps Curtis or even Stella. Their advice could either convince her to fight for what she walked away from, or help her find closure and peace in letting Isaiah go for good. Elizabeth caught in the middle? As the situation evolves, Elizabeth may find herself in a delicate position. She won't want to step on Jordan's toes, especially if she senses unresolved feelings between her and Isaiah. At the same time, she won't want to deny a potential new connection out of guilt. This sets the stage for a classic Port Charles emotional triangle, full of unspoken words, misinterpreted intentions, and the kind of heartfelt drama that General Hospital excels at delivering. General Hospital spoilers. Sidwell's secret shocks Port Charles. Kai struggles with heartbreak and betrayal. The emotional terrain of Port Charles is about to shift dramatically as new secrets surface, hearts get broken, and long-standing trust is tested. At the center of this explosive turn of events are Kai and Sidwell, two characters whose bond has been growing steadily over the past several months. What seemed like a blossoming connection, one rooted in mutual respect and emotional vulnerability, may soon come undone thanks to a buried truth that refuses to stay hidden. General Hospital spoilers tease that Sidwell has been harboring a secret, and when it finally comes to light, the emotional toll on Kai will be devastating. As the revelation spreads, it may send ripple effects throughout Port Charles, disrupting friendships, romantic ties, and even some fragile alliances. A blossoming bond built on shaky ground. Kai, known for his strong sense of loyalty and idealism, has been one of Sidwell's biggest supporters in recent months. Whether the two were sharing quiet conversations about their pasts or standing together through moments of personal struggle, they appeared to be forming a bond that could lead to something more, possibly even love. However, it now appears that Sidwell hasn't been completely transparent with Kai. The secret he's kept hidden isn't just a minor detail. It's a game-changing truth with the power to upend everything they've built together. Whether this truth involves a previous connection to one of Kai's enemies, a hidden agenda, or something far more personal, the result is the same. Kai will feel blindsided. Kai's emotional collapse. When Kai learns what Sidwell has been hiding, the emotional impact is expected to be severe. Kai isn't someone who opens up easily, and he certainly doesn't give his trust without careful consideration. For him, relationships, whether platonic or romantic, require honesty and respect. Once those are shattered, it's difficult to repair the damage. Sources say Kai may initially react with stunned silence, unable to fully process the weight of the betrayal. But once the shock wears off, the hurt will take center stage. Expect a mix of heartbreak and anger, with Kai confronting Sidwell in a tense, emotionally charged scene. Kai may accuse Sidwell of manipulating his feelings or using him to gain access to sensitive information, especially if this secret is tied to a larger scheme or cover-up. Sidwell's side of the story. While Sidwell's decision to keep the truth hidden is undoubtedly wrong in Kai's eyes, there may be more to the story than it first appears. General Hospital spoilers suggest that Sidwell will attempt to explain his reasons, insisting that he never meant to hurt Kai, and that his feelings were always genuine. This might include a confession of past trauma, external pressure from a powerful figure, or a situation where telling the truth would have endangered someone else. Sidwell may beg for understanding and ask Kai for another chance to make things right. But it won't be that easy. Port Charles reacts, friends take sides. As word of Sidwell's secret spreads, the rest of Port Charles will take notice. Characters like Trina, Jocelyn, or even Curtis might weigh in, especially if they've formed bonds with either Sidwell or Kai. Some may defend Sidwell's decision, claiming that everyone has a right to their past. Others, however, may feel that Kai deserves better, and that deception has no place in a relationship built on trust. This public divide could lead to tension within social circles, especially if Kai's pain starts to consume him and affect his decision-making. He may withdraw, cutting off friends and refusing to engage in meaningful conversations as he processes what happened. Will Kai forgive, or is this the end? One of the biggest questions swirling around Port Charles now is this: can Kai ever forgive Sidwell? Forgiveness doesn't come easily to someone like Kai, particularly when his emotions have been manipulated. However, GH fans know that sometimes love, understanding, and vulnerability can change the course of even the most painful conflicts. Sidwell may set out to prove his sincerity through actions, not just words. He might try to help Kai in a personal quest or put himself in a dangerous situation to protect him. If Sidwell is able to show true remorse and a willingness to rebuild from the ground up, there's still hope that the relationship might recover, though likely not without struggle. A new path for Kai? If Kai can't find it in his heart to trust Sidwell again, then a new chapter may be on the horizon. With his emotional world shaken, Kai may pour his energy into something else, whether that's work at the hospital, helping someone in crisis, or even pursuing a new connection with someone unexpected. Spoilers hint that Elizabeth or Brooke Lynn could offer a listening ear, and possibly more, depending on how their own emotional journeys unfold. Final thoughts. The fallout has just begun. The reveal of Sidwell's secret marks a turning point for both characters. Whether it's the beginning of a healing process, or the end of something beautiful remains to be seen. For now, Kai is crushed, reeling from a betrayal he never saw coming. And Sidwell? He's left with the burden of repairing what he's broken, or accepting that he may have lost something irreplaceable. Stay tuned, because in Port Charles, every truth comes with a price, and every heartbreak opens the door for a new story. The silence between them grows louder. Following the fallout of Sidwell's secret, things between him and Kai grow more strained with each passing day. Even if they find themselves in the same room, the air is thick with tension, unspoken pain, and a sense of betrayal that's hard to shake. Kai begins avoiding places he knows Sidwell might be, favoring isolation over facing the man who fractured his trust. Though Sidwell attempts to reach out, his texts go unanswered. Calls are sent to voicemail. Even when their paths cross in town, all he gets is a cold stare from Kai, one that says, "You no longer exist to me." Sidwell starts to unravel, realizing too late that the truth should have come out on his own terms. Now he's lost the one person who grounded him, and he's left scrambling for redemption in a town that thrives on rumors and rapid judgment. Trina, Jocelyn, and others weigh in. Word spreads fast in Port Charles, and it isn't long before Sidwell's betrayal becomes a hot topic. Trina Robinson, who has always had Kai's back, confronts Sidwell directly. She accuses him of playing with Kai's emotions and calls his sincerity into question. Jocelyn, while sympathetic, tries to take a more balanced view. She believes in forgiveness but acknowledges that trust, once shattered, isn't easily repaired. Others, like Curtis or Elizabeth, may serve as voices of reason, encouraging both men to find closure, whether it's through reconciliation or a clean break. The road to redemption isn't easy. Sidwell doesn't give up. Though everyone seems to be urging him to move on, he begins doing what few in Port Charles dare to, taking full responsibility. He starts volunteering at the local youth center, opens up about his past in group meetings, and works hard to prove that he's not just a manipulator, but a man seeking real change. Kai notices, even if he won't admit it. Their story isn't over, not by a long shot. Whether it ends in forgiveness or a final goodbye remains uncertain, but the emotional wounds are deep, and healing takes time.